every morning as part of my morning routine, I do a 30-minute mindfulness meditation where I try and focus on my breath, try not to think, try and be present. But there are always two things that I am consistently thinking about where I feel like I get lost in thought. Number one, how do I improve our business? What do I need to do to get our business to go to the next level? That's something that I'm consistently thinking about. And then number two, pickleball. How do I improve my pickleball game? Pickleball is right now my favorite hobby. And I'm always thinking about those two things. So I thought I'd make a video combining them both and talk about 7 parallels between pickleball and business that I've been thinking about. Okay, so let's dive right in. So parallel number 1, fundamentals are 80% of the game. Okay, if you know the Pareto's rule, the 80-20, it says that 20% of actions are responsible for 80% of results, or 20% of inputs are responsible for 80% of outputs. When it comes to pickleball, if you focus on the simple fundamentals, it takes you so far. Like just with drilling the fundamentals down, right now I'm playing at about a 4 or 5 level in pickleball in just about a year now. I know there are a lot of people that are way beyond that, but I don't have any racket experience, any racket sport experience. And I've been playing with people who've been playing for 2-3 years, and I'm hanging in there. At times I'm winning. And for me, the main thing has been to focus on fundamentals. You know, when I was younger, when I was little, I used to play soccer, and instead of focusing on the fundamentals, I would always want to learn like the shiniest, the latest trick, the latest juke that I saw somebody do, and like something that looked cool but didn't move the needle forward in terms of helping me improve my game. And I feel like that is the same for business. Like when it comes to business, if you break down a business, like a service business, it usually comes down to a few things. So it comes down to number 1, having marketing to attract new customers. Number 2, having a way to nurture the leads that are coming in from your marketing. Number 3, those leads that you're nurturing, being able to turn them into clients. So some way of converting them, of selling them. So sales. Number 4, fulfilling the thing that you promised them in your sales process. And number 5, making sure that you keep the people that you sell and that you retain them and that you keep selling to them. And maybe number 6, maybe you have like the operation side of things where you run your business, but that's about it. And if you focus on the fundamentals and you think, okay, where's my business weak right now? And you focus on the fundamentals, that gets you really, really far. You don't need to build like a crazy innovative business. As long as you focus on the fundamentals, you could get really far. I mean, if you think about, for example, McDonald's, it's not like they created rockets or anything. They're selling hamburgers, but they've been focusing on the fundamentals for a really long time, right? So that is something that I've thought about, is how do I keep focusing on the fundamentals in our business right now? For example, in our business, we're struggling to make sales every month. Like we need to get more customers. So in my mind, what I am focusing on is, okay, so how do I acquire leads? Like what is our marketing campaign going to be? And even before that, like how are we going to position ourselves? How are we going to differentiate ourselves from our competitors, and how are we going to market that? But the idea is that I know that I need to generate leads. So I'm not trying to focus on other parts of the business. You know, right now, for example, AI has come along, and we could use that in our business to help our clients. And that would be cool. But and even though it's something shiny, something new, something that I like, because I like to learn more about AI, and I think it could really help our clients. It's even if I added that to our service, I don't think it'll help solve the biggest problem right now, which is like generating more clients. So I need to just focus on the thing that I know I need in order to make it to the next level. Okay. The next point right here, the next parallel, the game never gets easier. So in pickleball, as I've been progressing, it's not like all of a sudden the game just like got way easier to play, because I keep playing higher and higher level people. And so the game is equally as hard as I started, if not harder now. I mean, I know more things and I know what to do, but now I'm playing way better people. And so it has made the game really tough. The same thing in business. Like at the beginning, we didn't know how to hire. Now we know how to hire. But the next problem came along. It's now, okay, now we need to learn how to manage people. And then we solve that. And then it's like, okay, but then like, how do we maintain what we're doing right now and bring in new clients? Because when we start bringing in new clients, like we need to hire more. And so like there's always the next problem that keeps coming. And so the game hasn't gotten easier for us. We know more things, we know what to do, but it's like this wishing for, I wish things were easy. It reminds me of a quote from Jim Rohn. It's like, don't wish you were easy, just wish you were better. And that's how I feel. It's like, for us in our business, I wish that I knew like how to handle the situation that I am in. And it's only through going through it and like figuring it out that I learned the lesson. It's kind of like that in pickleball as well. Like with pickleball, I feel like I'm not doing different shots than I was before. Like I'm not doing different shots. Like you have a forehand drive, you got some dinks, you have some backslice dinks, you have some drops. Like the number of shots that you have, I mean, it's not like infinite amount. So it's always pretty much the same shots. But as the level progresses, you got to get better at doing those shots better. And so I don't know if that makes sense, but in any case, it's not like the game, just because you learn the shots, the game get easier. The game, you can learn the shots and play the game, but still you got to get better at those shots infinitely. Like it just keeps getting harder and harder and harder and harder. Or I'm sorry, it just never gets any easier. So that's number 2. Number 3, find the bottleneck. Okay, so find the bottleneck. In pickleball, there are always things to work on. So even though there's a limited selection of shots that you can work on, there's always ways that you can improve them, that you can make them better. There's always parts of your game that you could always work. But how I've progressed, it's that I have thought, okay, where am I losing in the game? Where am I making the most amount of mistakes, or where are they beating me? Is it at the beginning when I'm serving, I'm not making serves? Is it later in the game, like trying to get to the kitchen? Is it at the kitchen where I'm defending? Like that for me is something that I need to get better at. Like when I'm at the kitchen, I need to defend and like put a lot more pressure on the people who are attacking. Like when I'm defending, I should defend aggressively. What I mean is like when I'm not serving. So that is something to work on. And so I could just focus on that and try and bring up that part of my game up. Same thing in the business. I mean, in business, there's always things that you can work on, but the thing to focus on is the thing that is going to move the needle forward. So for example, for us right now, our product is amazing. It's really good. But now that AI came up, it could even be better if we implemented AI. So we could really focus on that. But solving that problem isn't going to move the needle forward for us in our company. It isn't going to make us grow faster or attract more people, at least not yet. And so anyway, that's how I think about it. Is like, where is the bottleneck in the business, and try and solve that will help you move the needle forward. Same thing in pickleball. If you focus on the parts of your game where you're consistently losing, making mistakes, you can progress. Some people focus just on, like, you can focus on in pickleball and your overhand smashes, but if that's not where you're losing the game, you can practice it all you want. It's not going to help you win more games. Okay? Parallel number 4, the game isn't just about getting faster. It's more about being well positioned. Okay, so let me explain this one. When it comes to pickleball, especially the younger kids that I play with, sometimes they just want to be faster and faster and do more aggressive shots and just run up and just play super, super fast. And that's great. I love that. I love that game. I love putting pressure. Or when you're defending, they're like, okay, how do I get faster and faster hand? Or people that I'm playing with who are lower level, they tell me like, man, your hands are so fast. Being fast is good, but I've gotten beaten by so many people who I know I have better reflexes than them, who play much slower. And the reason for that is not because, obviously, it isn't because they're faster. It's because they're better positioned. At least one of the reasons why they're better, they're always better positioned. It seems like everywhere that I'm going to hit, they've already predicted, or they already knew like where the ball was going, and they were already there. They were well positioned in the court. I feel like positioning is one of those things that makes a huge difference. So I feel like that is a parallel between business as well. Sometimes I think it's like, okay, it's all about innovation and figuring out how to be out at the cutting edge of things and bringing out the latest things, improving your product to the latest technology with the latest technology. And sometimes, that's important to innovate and make sure that you're not getting left behind. But there are so many countless products. Like if you look at Apple, like I still love Apple. I'm using the iPad right now to draw this video. Right now, the Apple Intelligence on this iPad is terrible. The Apple Intelligence on the Mac is terrible. Like the way they've implemented AI is terrible. Obviously, they're going to need to catch up and do things to improve it. But right now, I'm not leaving the iPad because I love this. They're well positioned. The company's well positioned. And so for me, I think about that for us in our company. It's like, how do we position ourselves so that, yes, we do need to innovate, but if we get our positioning right, we're not going to have to always be consistently running around like a chicken with its head cut off, trying to keep up with the latest technology trend. If we have the positioning right, we don't need to be the fastest, kind of like the same way in pickleball. I think when you look in pickleball, I think Ben Johns has fast hands, but I don't think he has the fastest hands, but he is extremely well positioned all the time. Obviously, there's so many things that make him great, but the point being here is that he's not the fastest. And so that's something for me that sticks out in business is, I used to think like it's all about innovation, and that's true. Like you do need to always be innovating, but if you get the positioning right, your clients will be more lenient and they'll give you more time to, if all you are is an innovation company and like everything that you do depends on innovation, that's great. And that's important. But the second you fall behind, somebody can overtake you and you're kind of always running this rat race of like trying to keep up. Whereas like if you position yourself right, then even if you are not the first one to jump into to innovate to do the latest thing, your clients will still afford you more time because ideally you're positioning yourself in a way that you are different from all of your competitors, in a way that brings value to the client and your clients love you. And so to me, that's important. It's the positioning side of things, in both in pickleball and in business. Number 5, you don't need new shots. You just need to refine them, the ones you have. For me, in pickleball, I think about this. Like when I think of, say, for example, in pickleball, I think of a scooping dink, right? So you're dinking and you scoop the ball forward. It's not like I need to now get a different dink and like make it more top spin and aggressive. Maybe, but I've seen like J.W. Johnson, the pickleball player, just do scoop dinks all the time. And that's one of his main dinks of choice in his repertoire. And, that has gotten him super, super far. Yeah, I mean, you may need to learn a couple of shots here and there, but it's not like you need to learn every single dink. It's more like what Bruce Lee said. It's like, I don't fear the guy who's practiced 10,000 kicks once. I fear the guy who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. And that to me is the same in business. Like when I think about McDonald's, they haven't branched out and done sushi and done like tacos and something like that. They stuck to what they knew, which is hamburger and fries. Obviously, they've varied their menu a little bit, but they've just stuck to the things that they do well and just refine their processes, refine their fulfillment, and improve their operations, and got good at doing what they do. So it's the same thing to me in pickleball. Select the shots that you like the best and then keep refining them. Number 6, have a winning mindset. So in pickleball, especially lately, as I've been playing with higher and higher people, I noticed this while I'm in like a dinking rally or something, and like the point is going longer and longer because as I play with better people, the points are lasting longer. I noticed my mindset because, again, this is something I practice mindfulness meditation to try and be aware of my state. One of the things that come up for me is that my mindset doesn't go to like feeling confident about the shot that I'm hitting. Instead, or if I'm playing with higher level people, instead of feeling like confident in my shot, I think to myself, don't mess this up. Even if I'm doing good, I'm like, don't mess this up. Don't hit a bad shot. Don't pop it up too high, or don't. And like my mind immediately starts to go negative, and it starts to go to like self-protection, like trying to play not to win. I mean, trying to play not to lose instead of playing to win. And that to me is a reflection of something that I need to work on. I mean, in business, the same thing happens when a new business shows up and I see somebody else in my space doing great. My mindset immediately goes to like, oh no, like I don't want to compete with even more people, and so on. And so anyway, it's this mentality. It isn't a winning mentality mindset, a winning mindset. So that is something that I want to improve for myself. It's just improving my mindset. And then number 7, putting your weight behind it. Okay, so this is the last one. And this one for me in pickleball happens, especially when I'm driving, when I'm serving. I'm noticing that, or when I'm at the net, especially when I'm at the net and I'm say they're serving, right? So I'm in front already and they hit a super soft ball. Like sometimes, because instead of me wanting to go be aggressive, I try to play a safer shot so that I don't mess it up and I don't put my weight behind it, which goes back to the last one, which is having a winning mindset. Instead of like trying to go for it and really put my weight behind my shots, or when I'm serving, instead of like thinking to myself, let me hit an aggressive serve, even if I lose, it doesn't matter. Like it's not like anything is gonna happen. Instead, I play not to lose, and I'll hit a softer serve that I know I'm capable. And I don't put my entire weight behind it because I'm afraid that I'm gonna hit the fence or something. So that is again something that I want to work on. It's just putting my weight behind it. Same thing in business. It's just whatever it is that I am doing, putting my weight behind it. And so anyway, those are the 7 parallels between pickleball and business that I thought of. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everybody.